Hi, welcome to PaperTales by Kunali, and today is the episode 6 for our photo frame series, and I'm going to be teaching you all how to make this really cute flower. It's simple but it's tiny, and this requires special skills. So let's learn how this is made. So for this we're going to require strips of paper. I'm using shades of yellow. Add a bit of pink for contrast. Glue, your quilling tool, and tweezers. So let's start. So the flower I'm going to be teaching you all today is going to be yellow in color. So I've taken a yellow colored strip, and as usual all of my strips measure 12 inches in height and 3.5 millimeters in width. And what we are going to do, because this is a tiny flower, we're going to cut this strip in half, and we're going to use only a 6-inch strip of paper. So you cut it in half, you fold it in half, and you cut it. And what we are left with is a 6-inch strip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling it. So use your quilling tool, and if you don't have a quilling tool, use tweezers. I've shown how to use a tweezer in the first episode of this series, so you'll get an idea of how that's done. And now we start rolling our strip. And this is what we are left with. And as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this roll with my tweezer. So if you've seen most of my work, this is how I operate. So you tighten the roll for a perfect quill. Beautiful roll. It opened up exactly how I wanted it to. And because it is a tiny flower with tiny petals, we're going to leave it this size. This is about half a centimeter wide, a little over half, so probably about 6 millimeters wide. So this is what we're going with, and you stick it over here. Apply a bit of glue, just a little, press it down, and to make sure it's stuck well, use your tweezer to press down on it. Now we've got this stuck, and now as usual you adjust. This is perfect adjustment. This is where we stuck our strip, right here, and we leave it over there. That's where we want it to be. And now, because it's too tiny for our fingers to fold the strips, what we're going to do, fold the roll, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our covering strip ready. And what we'll do is we'll push this towards the center like so with our tweezer. You hold it like this and you bring these two sides together. Perfect, beautiful. And if there are any adjustments to be made, you can make them later, no worries. Apply a bit of glue over here, just a tad bit, as you can see, and you take your strip, a lovely contrasting strip. I've taken a nice dark pink shade. You can take an orange or a green, whatever you like, that's totally upon you. Cover it once. We're just covering it once, we don't want it to be too bulky, our petal. Cut off, leaving a little excess over here. and you apply glue. And you fold it like so. Make sure you stuck it well. Make sure it's stuck nice and tight. And there we have it. A lovely tiny petal ready in just a few steps. Now what we'll do is we can decide whether we want it to be blunt like this or pointy like this. So we'll go with the pointy one over here. So if you want it blunt, you can just leave it as it is. And there we have it, our lovely petal ready. Now what we'll do is we'll make our bud for the flower. So for the bud, I have taken a bit of bright green, and we don't want it to be too big, the bud, because the flower is tiny in itself. So what we'll do is we'll cut off just, this is about 3.5 to 4 inches tall, and that's as much as we need. And I have an almost equal length of brown. So what we'll do is we'll hold this like this. We'll place our green strip of paper like so. Leaving the strips like this, and we'll start rolling them with our tweezer. You can roll it with your quilling tool too, because there are just 2 strips, so that's perfectly fine. But I'm rolling it with my tweezer. So if you hold it like this, leave a little bit for the glue, apply glue, and roll it properly. Make sure it's stuck well. There we have it. A nice tiny bud is ready for our flower. Now we'll keep this aside. So you can make your buds in many different ways. I like this because it brings out 2 beautiful colors together. So there's this light and dark, and I love how it looks. So most of my buds are usually like this. Now what we'll do is I've made the other petals ready. So this is going to be a 6-petaled flower. Usually most of my flowers are 5-petaled, but I like 6 petals too. So I've made the rest of the 5 petals ready like so. And what we'll do is we'll pinch them to make them pointy. You pinch them like this and you push them downwards. So it becomes nice and wide. It doesn't remain too pinched. We have our bud over here, and we're going to apply glue. Quite a bit of glue, and we're going to press it down on our flower. Push the petals inward if they've been disturbed, and press down. Press down, and while you are pressing down, push these petals inward. There we go. Lovely flower is ready in just a few steps. And it's cute and it's tiny and it can be used in plenty of different ways. Now what I did was I put it in the palm of my hand and I pressed it down to create a lovely 3D effect for our flower. There we go. Gorgeous looking flower. And this is how it looks. This is a 3D effect that happens. And there we go. There we have it. Lovely flower is ready. So we've made this and you've already seen this one. This one is blunt and it looks really cute. So two lovely flowers in different colors. You can try different colors, different combinations if you want, and you can make these. Now where do we use them? So in my photo frames, whenever I'm making my photo frames, so there are these big flowers that we've made earlier which I showed. So those flowers take center stage, but to add a little bit of color to the leaves and everything, I add these tiny flowers at the end or on the sides, so it looks nice and colorful, and there's a little more attention to detail given in these in the frame. Now I make some of the flowers would be probably 3-petaled ones or 4-petaled ones or 5-petaled ones or 6-petaled ones as these. Sometimes I try and make even smaller flowers, but that's too tedious a job, so I would suggest you to leave it at this. This is perfectly fine. They're really tiny and they look really cute. Now where else could you use this? So you could use this as a if you're into making rings or something like that, you could make a ring using this flower. The size is perfect for that. You could use them to make a nice pendant for your chains, lovely earrings without a doubt, tiny fridge magnets which you could make a theme of fridge magnets, and lots of flowers and a couple of butterflies fluttering around them. It's a nice beautiful theme that you can make for your fridge. Another thing that you can do is you can add it to your bigger flower. So what I've done over here is early in the morning today I made this, and I made this tiny green flower, and this is how I put it into my regular flower or whatever you call it. I don't even know what to call this. It could be a flower, it could be used as a flower, or it could be used as a fridge magnet, or whatever you think, wherever you can use it. So you can use a tiny flower on a bigger flower as a bud. So this looks cute too. So there are plenty of ways in which we can use these tiny flowers. Now you've already seen this, you've already seen how I make this stuff. So now I'll show you another thing that I've been working on, a different project altogether of mine, and I made this. So once again, the size of the petals are the same. I've used half strips, so 6-inch strips for all of these. I've used a multitude of different shades, and I've used a single strip of paper over here, a bigger strip. So I can show you how I made this also. So I'll just show you what I did for this. So you take a green strip of paper, a 12-inch green strip of paper, and you roll it. So I'll show you how I made that up, and you can make something like that. And on my Facebook page next time, I'll show you, check out my Facebook page. I'll put up a project of mine that I've been working on. So I'll show you where I've used these also, so you can get an idea of what I do apart from photo frames and all that. So you have this and you unfold it, and unfold it to about a little bigger than a centimeter. So this is good enough. So what we'll do is we'll stick it. The style I've used for making this is the same as the one which I taught before. So you can make bigger petals, like with a 12-inch strip of paper, and you can make something like this. So I'll show you flowers which I've made with a 12-inch strip of paper petals, so you'll get an idea of how big or small they turn out to be. So you apply glue over here, press it down, make sure it's stuck. Unfold it and adjust it always. Never forget this step, always adjust. The place where I stuck this is right over here, so that's where we want it always. Now you can use either your finger or you could use the tweezer as I had shown you. So you fold it like this. If you want, you can just press down on it a little bit with your tweezer, pull it together, put both the sides together, and there you have it, a big petal. Now what we'll do is we'll cover it up with a darker strip. So I have this nice brown colored strip over here, and we'll cover it up with that. There we have it. If you want to make it more prominent, give it 2 goes with the brown strip. I've been trying to lessen the prominence, so I just go with 1 roll. Earlier I used to go with 3 rolls, so the edges used to be really prominent. So you have this, it's ready, and you pinch this like this, and you're left with a bigger petal than what we had made earlier. As you can see, this is going to be a much bigger flower if we use an entire strip of paper. So this was the one which we made earlier. Now what we'll do is so I have made 5 tiny strips, 5 tiny petals with blue in color, and what we'll do is I'm going to teach you how I make this one. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll stick these. So you apply glue on the sides, stick the petals like this, and stick the rest of the 2 on the side. Apply pressure, know that it's stuck well, and on this side. Now as you can see, I've left a little bit of space over here at the center. There we've created these 5 petals like this, and what we'll do is we'll apply glue over here on the sides, and we'll place it here like so. So we've created a lovely motif, if you can call it that, and this is going to be used in one of my projects. So I'm making something just to try out something, a new design or something like that, and that is what I need it for. So this is a lovely motif that we've made. I liken it to a nice peacock, you know. So it's just a semi peacock, you can say, and it's a lovely peacock motif that we've got. So you can check out my Facebook page and you'll be able to see what I've done with these afterwards, you know, after today. So I really love how this turned out, and you can make different colors, different shades, you know. And you know, this also could work as a lovely earring, like this dangly earring. You could also dangle it like this. If you make it a little more dense, you can use it as a brooch also. Fridge magnets are a given always, and you can also use them in your greeting cards, or you know, something like that. Once again, where else could you use it? You could just stick them up on your walls and create a lovely design around them, and they're going to look really pretty. I also wanted to show you one thing. Over the weekend, over the week, I made this flower. You must have already seen it on my Facebook post, and I love how it turned out. So this is made with 1 millimeter wide strips of paper. It's really thin and it's really tiny, and it looks gorgeous. I've applied a lot of glue so that it doesn't unfurl or it doesn't, you know, open up, and this is how it turned out. I've been wanting to use this in a particular project. I'll see where I can use this, but I'm in love with this style, and there's a ton of work in this because it's so tiny and it's so difficult to maneuver these strips of paper, you know, around, and you know, without applying a lot of glue around it and all that, and it's very finicky, but I love how it turned out. Let me know how you like this. Also, I wanted to show you the single petal that we made of one entire strip of paper, so of a 12-inch paper, 12-inch strip. So this size, we can make flowers exactly like this, in this way, and this is made from a 12-inch strip of paper, the longer one. So this is the size of a flower you'll be able to get from a 12-inch strip of paper. This is from a 6-inch strip of paper. So this is just for your information. So I hope you like this idea, and I hope you'll give it a try. Let me know how you liked it. And also, I've been working on some fantastic videos and ideas which I want to share with you all in my subscription based model for on YouTube. I hope you all go and check it out once it's available. I'll keep you all informed about that too. That will be a paid subscription where you'll be able to see different designs of mine and an entire project made differently. So watch on for more, and do like, share and subscribe to my channel. To share it with your friends, whoever are crafty enough to like this stuff. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.